it doesn't amaze me anymore because I actually have a book that says race mixing is mental sickness. And I am assuredly sure that it is because our people are cursed and diseased by God Himself. He has struck us from the head to our feet, and our people have the worst forms of Stockholm syndrome that we've ever had in our whole entire history. You know, the channel Only Logical will show video after video of these swirlers, and I do not care if these people swirl. Why do I not care? Because I can't stop it, and but it's just a classical clinical study of mental illness because no matter how many times in these relationships where these guys are eventually going to start calling her the N word. Where these guys, listen, I knew, I still know her. I still know, I've known her for over 20 years. This black woman had all her children by a white man, and he was a piece of trash. And interestingly enough, he made her have sex with his friends. Yeah, she told me all of that. She told me all of that. Everybody she comes in contact with, she said she had to obey her husband and everything. Not on that. He slored you out. That was unbiblical. This is what I'm talking about. Once you meet these swirlers, you're going to hear the nasty sexual stories. A lot of these white males have very nasty sexual proclivities. I know. I used to be in the army. I got a lot of stories. I was one of the few black men in my unit, and they would be talking about eating out their wives on the blood. The white guys on my job still talk about that nastiness, man. I hope you're not eating when you listen to this video. We are not supposed to be with these people. They talked about that last year. There was like 4 or 5 of these white guys on my job. Oh, I love to get my Red Wings. This is why these people are always depicted as vampires. Their sexual practices. I'm not saying all of them do this. I'm not saying all, but this is common with a lot of them to have very disgusting, unhygienic sex. Why would you eat your wife's period blood? Why would you do that? Why would you get off on that? The Bible says that you are not supposed to eat blood. Why would you want another man to have sex with your wife? That is forbidden according to the Bible. So when I see a black woman like this, I see a heathen. I see a 2/3 Israelite woman that ain't going to make it because she loves these people, because she's one of these people, mind, body, and spirit, you know?
Hey, what's good, TikTok fam? Listen, I have not done a video like this in a minute. I've been doing my food vlogs, minding my business. But this is something that I have to say as a black woman who desires and only desires to be with a Caucasian man. I gotta say this. So y'all know that trend that's going around. We listen, but we don't judge, right? It's cute. Some of them, not so much. Either way, I saw one in particular where obviously it was a black woman and a white man. And she was like, of course, we listen, but we don't judge. She said, sometimes, to add a little toxicity in the mix or, in the relationship, I'll start an argument just to add some toxicity into the relationship. Now, some may have thought that was cute or funny. Based on his face, he didn't think it was funny, but he wasn't going to say nothing clearly. But I don't think that was funny at all. Because at the end of the day, many of us are desiring to be with white men to escape toxicity. You know what I'm saying? And many of those black women, and I'm saying those black.
What she is basically saying is she's just constantly preaching the lie that every black man is the founder, the creator, and the maintainer of Blackistan. What is Blackistan? Blackistan is black men that everywhere we go, we are treating black women wrong. We are abusing them. The swirlers always preach this nonsense. Meanwhile, white pretty Becky, every other week, there's always these white pretty Becky teachers that are sleeping with their students. It's the truth. It's the truth. The when for all of these white trolls that come around and act like we are doing all of the crime, and that's a lie. These people are pieces of shit. This is who they are. White males are very much represented in sex crimes, and I'll just leave it at that because YouTube doesn't like you have to watch what you say. You see what I'm saying? But this is what she's trying to escape trauma. Did you know that there's a lot of it is in white people's culture. I am not saying that they all do it. It is in a lot of their culture in America to practice bestiality. I could find stories and put it up here. It's the truth. It still goes on in 2025. So she's trying to date white only to escape from trauma. See, Keisha is the number one pusher of white supremacy in 2025 and beyond. When y'all want to complain about white supremacy, y'all need to look in the mirror because a lot of you, this is what y'all do. Y'all actually push this, y'all actually promote it. This is exactly what she's doing. This is exactly what she's doing. There was a story just this recently. A white man with his white wife were busted because they were having sex with the dogs. And somebody reported them to the police because they probably were doing it outside. Right? So they always push this narrative that white people are perfect and black men are Satan. This is what they do. Let's let this spiritually sick woman continue.
Women, because we are not the same. Many of them choose white men because they know they can play with y'all. They know they can treat y'all like a lot of black men treated them. But they couldn't get away with it with those black demons. So let me go, or let them, again, we ain't the same. So let them go to a white man who gonna let them do what they want, talk to them all crazy, emasculate them in ways they didn't even know they could be emasculated. You see what I'm saying? But listen, to my future husband, if you come, boyfriend, whatever, you gonna be white. But
you see what I'm saying? This is mental illness with these women. They are always wearing the hair of another nation of women while calling themselves queens. Your hair as a black woman does not come in red. It doesn't come in blonde. I'm so sick and tired of hearing, well, the Melanesians or whatever these people are, who are not us, that live in some island somewhere, their hair comes blonde. You, as a foundational black American, I ain't never seen our women come out the womb with blonde hair. I have never seen it. Maybe you might see one or two, some kind of genetic abnormality, but I ain't never seen none of us come out the womb with red hair and blue hair and pink hair and all this nonsense because they hate themselves and they want to be white. They are ashamed of themselves. This is a spiritual sickness. Idolatry is spiritual sickness. Swirling is spiritual sickness. This is exactly what it is. Most of these swirlers never wear their natural hair. They never do. They have these lace front wigs. I mean, they are really, 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 really pathetic. They really are. They really are. I can tell you some real, true life stories. Oh, closing it out. There was another black, dark skinned female I used to work with, and she was another one. She had one bad experience with a black man, and then she just decided that she'd be a swirler for life. And, I actually thought she was quite beautiful. If she hears me, she knows who it is. She had a bunch of assorted white men that were alcoholics, and one of them, he started laying hands on her, and she was quieter than a church mouse pissing on cotton. She wouldn't even call the police to report him. He was whooping her ass. He was a damn drunk. This is what I'm talking about. They always go for the low level, bottom tier white man, or you always see them with some old, disgusting, decrepit white man, 60, 70 years old, gotta wear depends, right? And the community never talks about those age gap relationships. The only time the community talks about the age gap is when it's concerning a black man, because we always got to dick police the black man. This is the community. Black women are free to sleep with animals, white people, lesbianism. They are free to do whatever they want. They still carry this common code that they have to see us as slaves. Black women see black men as their slaves. This is the truth. And swirling is spiritual sickness. That's exactly what it is.